jumping off a mountain with Tom Cruise, witnessing the explosion of an atomic bomb, wearing pink and entering the world of Barbie, or seeing every color explode in the Keijo universe. Just in the last month, movies gave us so much escapism in the form of big screen entertainment. But sometimes some films go in another direction. Films that aim to shock your core, set your heart racing, challenge your thoughts, haunt your mind, or even change your perspective towards life, a group of people, or an issue that you're unaware or choose to ignore. Today's video is a mix of such films with 7 disturbing and shocking must-watch Indian films. And number 1 on that list is Mahanadi. Written by and starring the treasure of Indian cinema, Kamal Haasan. In his own life, when he caught his domestic help planning to kidnap his daughters for a ransom, it became the seed for the story of a father who goes through the most difficult hardships a man can face in this world for the sake of his family in a world full of vultures in the form of human beings. Even if it's regarded one of the saddest films ever made in Tamil cinema, it was critically and commercially acclaimed because of its emotionally engaging story and Kamal Haasan's powerful performance, both of which will refuse to leave your mind long after the credits roll. I watched Mahanadi once as a teenager, but I can still remember the feeling of the scene when Kamal's character reacts to his daughter talking in her sleep. Probably one of the most heartbreaking moments of cinema that hits like a ton of bricks every time you even think of it. From exploring the dark side of urbanization to naming each character after major Indian rivers, Mahanadi is much more than a family drama. It's a layered classic that's increasingly relevant with multiple takeaways. Much like many films written by Kamal Haasan. Tanmatra. Like Krishna from Mahanadi, Ramesan Nair is another such hero for his family, but unlike Krishna, it's not the world and the darkness of human beings that brings the darkness in his life. It's his own mind. Ramesan is a man very well respected in the society, honest government employee, great husband, brilliant father. The kind of man who will make you think, I wish my father were more like this. And to such a man, when he starts to struggle with basic tasks, forgetting things, losing his grip on his memories, when a disease like Alzheimer's starts eating away the idea of this perfect man, you feel like those children whose world slowly starts crumbling down because to them, their father was their world. Imagine this. Ramesan has been working in the secretariat office for many years and is highly respected by his colleagues for his honesty, for his integrity and his spotless track record. But one day, he just walks into the office with a bag of vegetables, sits at his desk and starts taking off his clothes, confusing the secretariat for his own home and shocking the rest of his colleagues who used to look up to him. Based on writer-director Padmarajan's story Orma, Tanmatra is a relentless family drama from director Blessy, elevated by an unforgettably moving and disturbing performance by Mohanlal that'll haunt you for years. Even as you see him smiling trying to recollect a recent memory, try not to cry. Ugly. If Mahanadi and Tanmatra were about parents who are willing to do anything for their children, Ugly is about people who should have never become parents in the first place. Definitely among his top 5 films, Anurag Kashyap's Ugly is raw, dark, twisted, unforgiving, exceptionally engaging and at the same time hilarious. Post the success of Gangs of Wasseypur, Anurag had enough credibility to make this film happen without sharing the script with anyone else by just saying, "Trust me bro," which resulted in a lot of improvisation by the actors, like the police station scene. Probably one of Hindi cinema's funniest sequences in a film that's not a comedy. On the other side, there's that deeply disturbing ending that I still get nightmares about, and I can't think of any other film that balances extremes of comedy and shock so well. Another similarity to Mahanadi is that even this film came from real life. Starting from Anurag Kashyap's own broken marriage, his alcoholism at the time, and the guilt of being unable to spend time with his daughter. It's also described as Anurag's most exhausting filmmaking experience. They shot for 14 hours a day, over 40 days in real, constricted locations in the streets of Mumbai, putting his crew and his actors through hell to make the film look real. Like Vineet Kumar Singh getting slapped for over 50 times by Girish Kulkarni to reflect the actual brutal methods of the Indian police. Visarne. The scariest part about this Vetrimaran film about police brutality is knowing that while I'm talking to you right now, this is actually happening to someone. Guilty or innocent, out in the open like George Floyd in America or in police custody like Jairaj and Benix in Satankulam. Just one of the many custodial deaths that happen every single day. Visarne literally translates to interrogation. But when the main characters who have absolutely nothing to do with the crime are apprehended by the police just because they look like they could fit a profile and beaten mercilessly irrespective of the time of the day, with each strike on the body that pulls off a little bit of flesh and a little bit of justice itself. You wonder, is the police actually interested in interrogating and knowing the truth? Or are they doing it just to close the case for a system that they are bound to? Are they doing it because they can and have to? Or are they doing it because they want to, for fun? And what's the guarantee that this will never happen to you or anyone you know? Because 30% of the cases in India are closed this way. Partly based on the novel Lock Up by Chandrakumar, even if Visarne still haunts me and audiences like me, I'm proud of this film. Not because it won all the national awards, not because it was our best chance at the Oscars that year, but mainly because it's a rare Indian film, a rare Tamil film that's come so close to portraying the naked truth on the big screen, attaching Dhanush as one of the producers and shot and packaged in such a way that it reaches a large audience, impacting them so much that they never forget the reality of it. Love, Sex or Dhoka. After Khosla Ka Ghosla and Oye Lucky Lucky Oye, the expectation from director Dibakar Banerjee was another quirky comedy, but using the concept of found footage, a new form of visual storytelling using amateur handycams, CCTV cameras, underwater cameras and spy cameras, Dibakar unleashed a new kind of beast. And he didn't just stop with experimenting with the way the film was shot. He also experimented with the way he could scar our memories for life. One of the most controversial incidents of our time was the DPS MMS scandal, which was one of the earliest warnings of how technology can be used not only to improve our lives but also destroy our lives. Taking this incident and theme as a seed, Dibakar developed a set of 3 slightly interlinked stories, with each of them pushing the boundaries of mindfuck. In all my years of watching cinema, this was my scariest big screen experience of a non-horror film. Amis. Remember the Lunchbox starring Irfan Khan and Nimrat Kaur? 2 strangers who have never met each other before are connected to each other by their destiny and their love for food. Amis is an Assamese film that follows pretty much the same path, with a middle-aged doctor and a young PhD student whose paths cross because of their love for food, how their bond grows because of the different meat dishes that they try together at local eateries. But slowly, things start getting into dark territory and nothing can prepare you for what happens. Most of the film plays out like this breezy, feel-good platonic relationship drama, but the mistake I made was that I read the plot of the film before watching it, so I was having this constant feeling of anxiety, anticipating when and how the main plot point of the film is going to kick into the narrative. Especially if you're a vegetarian, I would strongly suggest you not to even think about watching this film. But if you're curious and adventurous, you have to try it, because you won't find another dish like this in Indian cinema. Matrabhumi. If we call a film disturbing, we mostly mean there are certain visuals, scenes, incidents in a character's journey, or endings of the movies that are difficult to watch. But what director Manish Jha does with Matrabhumi is that he sets the context and builds the world of the film within the first 5-10 minutes, starting with a shocking, gut-wrenching scene. And with every scene that comes after it, it just goes from dark to darker to darkest, without any mercy for the character or our peace of mind. Set sometime in the future, Matrabhumi explores an Indian village that is populated exclusively by men without a single woman. What its men would be like. How would they behave if they ever see a woman, or worse, if that woman enters their family. Even if it was made on a very tight budget of 2 crores, I have no idea how this project got greenlit by producers, because apart from a few minutes of hope, almost all the 90 minutes of the runtime are just a series of events dedicated to make the audience's blood boil to a higher degree, painting an absolutely hopeless picture of our country and the state of women in our country, which is actually not very far from reality. This is easily the most difficult, disturbing and merciless Indian film that I've ever watched, and I challenge you to find something more disturbing than this. What are your picks for the most disturbing and shocking Indian films? Let me know in the comments. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.